Hello and welcome back to Full Tank Truck Talk. I am your host, Phil Eastman, the host of the Full Tank with Phil podcast, and that is where you can get your NASCAR Cup Series action every single week, wherever you get your podcast. But on this show on YouTube, we're talking trucks, and that's why we're here tonight. And trucks is kicking off the greatest weekend in motorsports. Perfect appetizer for this Memorial Day weekend. I'm so excited about the trucks. I've been off. I was off last week, didn't put out a video for North Wilkesboro as I was on a trip, and now I'm back. And I'm foaming at the mouth, I'll be quite honest with you, because I got to, move through the race recap here. Kansas was the last race that we put a video out for. Did not go very well. And so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Kansas. Actually, not at all. I believe Hocevar was the winner there. Things didn't work out. Our head-to-head matchups fell apart. Not happy with the way things worked out there. So we're putting it in the rear view. We're not even giving it a second more than what it needs to have here. So we're looking forward. Okay. We're looking forward to Charlotte. And this is a racetrack that I'm obviously very excited about because of what's to come with the NASCAR, weekend in whole. We've got a triple header with Trucks Xfinity Cup, obviously the longest race in motorsports on Sunday night. And so been staring at a lot of Charlotte data, and I'm feeling good about some bets here for the Truck Series. This is a key part of the season right now for trucks because it's going to end this little stretch of mile and a halves for a little bit now. So they're going to have to really, if you're a driver that thrives on these types of tracks, this is your opportunity to really flex your muscles here and do something about it. There's also some drivers that are just good at Charlotte, and we're going to talk about one of them who we haven't bet on at all this season. So we're going to talk about them in a little bit. But let's get to the outright section here. And the outright section, man, I got to be honest with you. Is it boring? I don't know. We've got two big dogs in this fight that are dragging the odds down. And so you as a gambler need to make the decision. Do you want to take one of the big dogs, Corey Heim or Kyle Busch? Okay. Do you want either one of those? Or do you want to sprinkle on some of the guys that are further down the list? This is how I'm playing. I'm making a selection between one of the two big dogs. Probably have an idea where I'm going. But as we go through these, that's not to say that I'm not going to throw a little bit on some of these other drivers that are further down the odds board, because as we saw, I know it was Hocevar, but at Kansas, Corey Heim isn't, you know, a robot. He is beatable. And so there are some drivers at Charlotte specifically that would be able to find their way into victory lane. So I'll mention those when we touch on them, guys that I think could jump up and maybe steal something if something goes wrong. But if we're choosing between the two big dogs, and that's how you want to start your card, to me, I don't even want to look anywhere else but Corey Heim. And it's got to feel good. We talked about Corey Heim over 4.5 wins this season in the preview episode. And I mean, it's just easy money at this point. Going to a mile and a half where his numbers, I talked about it at Kansas. We took Heim at Kansas and, didn't bring it home. He finished third, but the reason why is because he finished first at Vegas, first at Texas, and third at Kansas. I mean, really unbelievable numbers, however you shake it. Obviously, he didn't get the victory, but still, like I said, he is human. So his starting spot, a little bit of a question mark. I think he finished like 14th or 17th at North Wilkesboro. So where he's starting might, be impacted by his qualifying order position, but we'll see. Usually that truck is fast no matter where they go, no matter when they go off. But something to be, a little concerned about, right? So this plus 180 number, point that I'm trying to make here with this qualifying order is if he doesn't get the best spot that he's used to, maybe that drops a little bit and you get him better Friday night. The only question is, will the books open up in enough time for you to do that? So I'm just taking all questions out of it and taking plus 180. Last year, he got DQ'd, I believe. From now, I looking at the stats, there are some places that have him second, some places have him last. So I believe he finished second across the stripe, but did get DQ'd. He's got 2 starts here, and if you throw the DQ out, he finished second both times here at Charlotte. So it's just shaping up to be a Heim time type of Friday night under the lights here. Going up against Kyle Busch, Kyle, he's got a win in Atlanta. Who gives a shit about Atlanta? If you're talking about the prowess of the driver in the Truck Series, because Atlanta is just a crapshoot. It's good that, a big dog driver won, I guess, to be able to say, yeah, I have that victory. But I don't like that as a way to say, hey, he's going to come into this 7 truck and win at Charlotte against Corey Heim because look what I did back in Atlanta. No, thank you. I think it's more about the full-time driver, how good Corey Heim has been. His driver rating on the mile and a half in 2025 is 133.2. There is not a Truck Series regular over 100 in that metric. That's crazy. That's just how much better he is than all of his colleagues. And so you have a Kyle Busch dropping down. Kyle Busch hasn't been KFB as of late. So I like plus 180 here, but I also like the head-to-head matchup minus 120 on various books, just Heim versus Kyle. And I would take Corey Heim all day and night. So Corey Heim, I can't go anywhere else if I'm calling out and outright here. Just doesn't make sense. He is just too good for me to pass up. And I'm sorry if this section on a week-to-week basis has been boring lately because of the style of racetrack we're at. But it's just how it is. He is that good, and he is that guy. So we'll move forward then on to one, and this is going to be a quick episode, placement picks. I got one of them. And so if you think that I'm a little chalky for the outright with Corey Heim, totally fine. I understand it. I got a longer shot top 5 for you. And this is one where I wish we had top 10s in the Truck Series, but we don't. So instead, we get long numbers on a driver like Stuart Friesen, top 5 plus 650 on DraftKings. Bear with me. This is a long shot, but let me talk you into this, and probably not throwing a full unit on this, just clarifying, this is more of a half unit, maybe less than a half unit play, but I really do think this one has legs. So we're looking at Friesen at Kansas. He finished 5th. At Vegas, he finished 6th. And if you remember, at Texas, he finished 24th, but he was running very well in that race and ended up getting in trouble late. So he's been a factor in all 3 mile-and-a-half races that we've had this year. As a matter of fact, his driver rating in 2025 on the mile-and-a-halves is second behind Corey Heim, but second, better than everybody else in the Truck Series. So that right there should indicate to you like, whoa, this is somebody that's, no joke. This is real deal. We're not messing around. I don't know why he's priced so long, but we'll take it. And so, like, if we did have top 10s, man, he'd be plus money for a top 10. I would take that all day and night. At Charlotte, he finished second in this race last year. He's got 8 starts at Charlotte in his career, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s. Just very good, very consistent at this racetrack. Very good, very consistent on the mile-and-a-halves this year. Great combination for a long shot top 5. Who's with me here, fellas? Like, let's roll with this. So Mr. Freeze is going to get it done for it. And the other thing about this that I found interesting at Charlotte when I was looking at his numbers there, he doesn't necessarily need a good starting position, right? When you're looking at his 5 of 8 top 10 finishes, he didn't start inside the top 10 on 4 of those 5 finishes. So that's not bad. It doesn't stress me out in Friday afternoon time, 3:30, when practice and qualifying is going down, that he's going to need to be up front to do well here. To me, he can qualify mid-teens, and I'm still feeling comfy going into this looking for a top 5. So Stuart Friesen, I like the top 5 pick. If I could see him in a head-to-head matchup, I would salivate over it. Just really would need to shop around, need to get lucky there that a book drops that. But give it a look. I mean, I know that number scares some folks away. Sprinkle on it. We don't need to go, 4 or 5 units on a plus 650, but Stuart Friesen, point being, he's going to be frisky on Friday night. All right, let's move in now to 3 matchups that we have here. And matchups is where we've been baking our bread this year on this show. Got to bounce back from Kansas. My hand is up. I'm sick about it. All last week, knowing I wasn't doing a show, I was sick about it, letting it, really sit in my crawl here. So we're going to get right back to it. And I got 3 of them. The first one, Daniel Hemrick. I can't get over the fact that it just feels like a Daniel Hemrick week, and I don't know why. I'm trying to pull numbers to kind of make me say, like, hey, maybe Hemrick for a victory, which his victory number is pretty damn good. Double-digit odds for Daniel Hemrick. But I'm looking at him now. I was looking at it for top 5. You know what? Let me just take him versus Rajah Caruth. Minus 115 on Caesars. Let me lock this in. Rajah, 2 starts at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 0 top 10s. He's got a 11th and a 16th place finish. And the other thing about that, to kind of pull a negative from it, is that he started in the top 5 both those Charlotte races. So he's getting good starting positions, finishing outside the top 10. Don't know the specifics of why in each of those 2 races, but the facts are the facts. So he has started inside the top 10 in all 3 mile-and-a-half races so far this year. Good for him, right? Good for that team. His finishes: 7th at Vegas, 3rd at Kansas, 3rd at Texas, rather, 21st at Kansas. So good, right? Very good, not great. He's not cashing top 5s. He has 1 top 5, but it's not like a consistent deal like we've seen with other drivers, right? Go back to Corey Heim. Actually, I'll save him for the finish line section, but Corey Heim, top 5s on mile-and-a-half. It's like, will the sun rise? So not getting that sort of vibe here from Rajah Caruth. So good, not great. I look at Daniel Hemrick. Got to go way back, million years ago, to when he raced in a truck series at Kansas, or at Charlotte rather. 9th place finish in 2016 amongst a couple other finishes. Who cares? Who cares about that, right? If he was dominant back then I'd be making a bigger deal out of it. But 9th place finish, I'm not going to use that as a way to say, hey, this is a reason to take him. But it's more about, this year, 2025 at Vegas. If you think back to this team, he finished 13th in that race, and he had just come off of Daytona and Atlanta. This was his first real race with this team in the Truck Series, kind of getting things right. And a 13th place finish was serviceable. It took this team a little while to get going, and now they are going. They're like top 4 in the standings right now in points. Finished 2nd at Texas, ahead of Rajah Caruth, and 10th at Kansas. So 2nd at Texas, 10th at Kansas. I don't know if I just mixed that up, but 2-1 versus Rajah Caruth head-to-head this season. And I do believe that Daniel Hemrick is going to have a pretty quality starting position because his qualifying order spot is going to be very beneficial to him. So Daniel Hemrick in that 19 truck. I was looking back at, last year, trying to see if Eckes had anything. Eckes was like 8th in speed last year. So, I mean, this team is really starting to come together as a group right now and just pointing people to death. Rajah, to me, is very hit or miss. And, he like I said, good, not great. I feel like Hemrick is at some point in time fighting for the lead in basically every race. Like he's been in the top 5, really good running position. So I like Daniel Hemrick over Caruth this weekend. And I like the number here too. I know that for all notes that are out there, these 2 are pretty much right next to each other and pretty much everywhere that I'm looking. To me, this is, the stats, but also a gut feeling, I guess. I like Hemrick over Caruth. I just don't trust Rajah at Charlotte just yet. All right, we're going to move to a next matchup here, and I got to just be honest with you. This is my promise, okay? If this driver doesn't win this matchup, I'm going to have to suspend talking about this guy for at least a month. So we're going, and I'm talking to anyone that's been watching our videos through the last couple weeks. This is Caden Honeycutt taking on Tyler Ankrum, and I like Honeycutt in this matchup, minus 130. Hear me out. Honeycutt's been killing us, but we're going back to that well. It's against Ankrum. And I'm kind of shocked because Ankrum has been such a strong ride. And while we're on the topic of Tyler Ankrum, now might be the time to throw a little sprinkle. I didn't look up what the odds were. I should probably do that. But how about a little championship pick on Tyler Ankrum? Maybe to make the championship four. There's a book out there offering that for trucks. But a championship pick wouldn't be too shabby for Tyler Ankrum because he's been very consistent. He has been pointing people, had a top 10 run, just really strong overall. I'm pulling up the championship odds right now as we speak. I mean, he's 18-1 to win the championship. I don't hate that. It's Hemrick and then a big drop off to Ankrum. He's very consistent. So I could see him making a little bit of a run in the playoffs. That being said, this Friday night, I like Caden Honeycutt over Tyler Ankrum because this just isn't his spot. We'll look at Ankrum still in 2025. His mile and a half's 10th, 4th, and 16th. Thing is, 10th and 16th, now 4th's a good run at Texas, but 10th and 16th, those are beatable numbers. And he's 2-1 against Caden Honeycutt this year, but Charlotte is where my radar starts going off. Like I can't get behind Tyler Ankrum because he's not good here, like at all. He's got 6 starts in his career with 0 top 10s. He was 32nd last year. Now, you go back through, I think his best finish in 6 starts is 13th at Charlotte. Some of those starts in Hattori Racing, I understand it's lesser equipment than he's in right now, but last year he was in this ride and finished 32nd. Probably got into some trouble, didn't get to see the race out full. The point remains 0 for 6, finishing inside the top 10 at this racetrack. How about the other side of this? Caden Honeycutt has 1 race here. Does he have a top 10? He sure does. He finished 8th in his 1 race at Charlotte. So you finally have an opportunity now to kind of piece things together. I was expecting more. He finished 8th last time we were at a mile and a half at Kansas. I was on him for a top 5. I really had a higher bar set for Caden Honeycutt in this mile and a half stretch. He hasn't done it. Well, here's his last chance to go do it. Got a racetrack that's right for the picking. Did great last year in his first start. Now he's got to improve on that 8th place finish. So what I'm trying to say here is that, and the books agree clearly. I mean, there's a couple books that have it like minus 140. He has an opportunity to improve. He needs to improve. He's in a situation on points where he needs to do well at these types of tracks. And he's going up against a guy who has really struggled mightily at this specific track. So Caden Honeycutt, last chance here, pal. You got to get it done for us. It's this or nothing here for Honeycutt. So lock it in, minus 130, and we'll see what happens here. We don't want to suspend a driver that we like, but we will do it. Last pick this week, and I'm really excited for this one. Okay. I'm thinking it's time for a trip. It's time for a Rhodes trip to Victory Lane. All right. Ben Rhodes is back on the card. It's been a while, but it's the right spot and it's the right matchup for Ben Rhodes to be back. Has he had a horrible year? Absolutely. He is not himself. That 99 is just not great. But this is the situation that we want to be in, okay? Because we'll start with Jones continuing to fade Brendan Jones here. 5 starts. He finally scored a top 10 at Kansas. Good for him. But the fact remains, like, he's in this part-time ride. I think this is his last start in that number 1 truck, and it's just not gone well for them. Like I said, finally we're able to score a top 10. But I like fading these part-time drivers and knowing, like, hey, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this is his last race. Knowing that he, is kind of at the end of the rope here in this 1 truck, I could see him maybe making a silly mistake. It's just that part-time ride situation. You go over to the Ben Rhodes side of camp, okay? Mile and a half this year, 14th, 6th, and 11th. That's 10.7 in average finish. That's not too shabby. A 10th place finish wins this head-to-head matchup. I would take that all day. You tell me right now Ben Rhodes finishes 10th. I throw my mortgage on this because I don't think Brandon Jones is going to beat 10th just, without seeing practice and qualifying at this moment. So 10.7 average finish is actually pretty high on the list, all the regular truck drivers. So I really like that, but it's Charlotte that's the difference maker for me here with Ben Rhodes, because this, I believe, is his best track. He's got 9 starts at this racetrack with 1 win, 5 top fives, and he's 8 for 9, finishing inside the top 10. Really great numbers here. So that has my attention. In the last 3 years, his average finish is 5.7. That's pretty good. That's very good. And that's including a couple years, at least 1 year where he was off a little bit. So Ben Rhodes going to Charlotte, 5.7 average finish in the last 3 years. His starting position in that time is average of 14.7. So he's able to work his way through, which he's probably going to have to do on Friday night, and score good finishes. So give me the Charlotte situation here with Ben Rhodes over a part-time driver. I feel so good about this bet. This is my favorite one. And it's one of those deals where Rhodes, I could see a sprinkle on a top 5. I'm not putting it out here as the best bets, but he's a driver that has my full attention this week, right? If you play DFS, if he is starting 15th, boom, that's a play for me. Like, he's going to work his way through. He's proven it. The data shows this is a track that speaks to him. So Ben Rhodes over Jones is where we're going to wrap that up. So let's go to the finish line. This is just kind of where I riff on some things here, and I've had some success here a little bit as well. Tanner Gray. He broke our hearts at Kansas. I was all over him at Kansas. He broke our hearts. I'm thinking about him again for a top 5. I didn't have the balls to put him into the placement pick area because I threw the Stuart Friesen one out there, which is pretty damn risky there. But Tanner Gray has my attention, trying to figure out what to do there. So let me know if you have any thoughts on Gray. Can he rebound and score another top 5 on these mile and a halves? He's got the pole in the last 2 Charlotte races. So he's going to be kind of the opposite of Rhodes. If you're looking for a DFS play, he's going to be likely, he unloads fast at Charlotte, whatever that means. So Tanner Gray, maybe looking to sprinkle him into a top 5 scenario, maybe an outright. I don't know. It'd be, if you're looking for a super long type of deal, he might be one of them. Grant Enfinger. Can't make heads or tails of Grant Enfinger. I want to play him in some way, but each week I dig into the stats and I just can't figure out how to do it. He's got 8 starts at Charlotte here, and he's been on a bit of a run at this racetrack. A 3rd last year, 5th before that, 2nd before that. So his last 3 years at this track have been really damn good. 3.7 average finish with 3 top 5s. So Enfinger, top 5, pulling it up right now. It's plus 185. I'm kind of talking myself into this. I'm probably going to add that to the card. Adding it to the card, Grant Enfinger found a way to play it, but he's one where I would sprinkle a little bit on him to win. If it's not going to be Busch or Heim, I could see him being Johnny on the spot there at Charlotte. The last guy is Lane Riggs. He's another one that's been kind of so hot and cold, but he's plus 900 to win this race. I think I just talked myself into Enfinger as we're going through this here, but Riggs is another backup where he shows so much speed in individual pockets of the race. And then you're thinking to yourself, man, he's really awesome on these style tracks. And then he finishes like 24th. So then he finishes 2nd. So it's very strange. Can't put my finger on him either. Head-to-head matchups, he's going up against Chandler Smith a lot of the time. I would probably play Riggs over him. Smith did not really wet my whistle this week. So if you're looking on anybody like Riggs, that would be a play, maybe a head-to-head matchup there. So just some guys to kind of think about here as we wrap things up for Charlotte. So I hope you guys have an unbelievable start cheer Memorial Day weekend with some Friday Night Lights in the Truck Series. Let's win some money. Let's gear up because we've got a long holiday weekend of racing ahead of us. And I hope everyone has a happy and healthy Memorial Day. And we'll see you next time on the Full Tank Talking Trucks.